what's up, folks? How you doing? Hope everybody's good. And the music is still going. That's kind of nice. 1 second here. Let me turn my sound off. I'm echoing. There we go. Much better. Hope everybody is good. Hello, Uso. Hope you don't mind if I say it that way. Me and ours, and my voice is not the best with certain words, so my pronunciation. So, hello, Edna. How you doing? Want to say hello to Nightmare? I'm sure he's roaming around somewhere. Hope everybody's good. Hello, Edna. How you feeling tonight? I hope you're well. I'm okay. I'm me, and I am what I am. Nothing more, nothing less. I hope you're good. You still want to come on? I can slide you the link. I'll leave it up to you. I meant to email you, but I had a busy day. I was running kind of late. I didn't think I'd be on time. Burton, okay. Well, we'll just put it on hold for another night. Maybe you'll fill up to it Saturday night after one of GEMMA'S replays. Maybe I'll find one of her shadow people one. I know she's got one about hood figures, so maybe we'll do that one. Then if you want to come on Saturday night, if you're up to it, we can do it, or next Wednesday. Just let me know when you're feeling good. Because all you have to do is come and chat and let me know, and I'll email you the link. Either way, all good. So just feel better, honey. He's hurting too. We got slammed. I didn't think I was going to have internet or a power. Luckily, the power didn't go out, but man, my internet kind of was flickering. So we got slammed with, I'd say, some of those wind gusts. There was about 20 minutes that I know there were winds hitting close to 60, 70 mile an hour. Yeah, I know you guys had them. You guys are getting what's going around us or over us. We're not getting my internet slow. Yeah, mine's been a little glitchy since the storm. So if you lose me, because it's still messing around out here, we still got another wave coming, and you lose me, I'll try to get on my phone and get in chat and let you know what's going on, because that might be the only way I'll be able to let you guys know. But just be warned. Yeah, right now it's pretty calm. It's just a steady rain. We had a little bit of thunder and lightning, but most of it was just some serious winds. Other than that, I know a lot of you guys out east will be getting it. If you're not getting it now, I know you're a little below. I know where you're at, and so I know you guys have been getting hit off and on. It's all starting to move up that north coast now, and then I think you guys, everybody on the East Coast, will get slammed again. Probably tomorrow night. Yeah, we had pouring rain. It poured here so hard our street was flooded. I'm surprised it went bad. You're in North Carolina, so you may see some of this tomorrow too. But most of you guys will get it tomorrow afternoon on East again. Because you guys are getting it more than we are. See, the thing is, I live inside of a 270 bubble. I mean, it's literally a outer belt that goes around Columbus. I really think it does affect the weather. A lot of times the storms go around us, but this storm, it was plowing through, and it did. But like I said, it was mostly wind. I mean, I hadn't seen wind like that for a while. I mean, I was watching big trees doing this. I was like, holy crap. And I brought him. Yeah, it's been nasty here with the humidity. Poor Pops, man. He's feeling it in his knees so bad, in his hands. And you could tell earlier when the barometric pressure. I mean, we got a little rain early this morning. Then it chilled out and the sun popped up, and it went from 75 to 90 real fast. Then the clouds started coming back in again. The temperature started dropping. I think we're at 76 now. So the rain did cool things down, but it's still real muggy out there. Usually feel better after it starts. Not today. Yeah, because the humidity and the barometric pressures are going up and down. It's crazy out there. I'm talking weather. This is what I told everybody when I tell people to show up tonight. We'll talk about paranormal to everything. And food. A lot of food. But yeah, and it's going to stay like this for everybody for probably another week or two. And then it's supposed to chill out. Let's just hope. because it's crazy out there. I mean, we've been lucky. Like I said, we still have not got the number of storms we used to get. But when they do come through, man, they're wicked. And the wind, like I said, the wind was just amazing tonight. I was like, holy crap. It started rolling through here about 8 or so. I hadn't heard about the Vampire Brothers 6 stuff. Yeah, the Carter brothers. Yeah, I knew a little bit of that story. That's an interesting, a lot of people really do believe that they were vampires, that they were the real thing. Hold on. Another thing. Allie, this weather's just stirring everything up. My allergy pills are not doing crap. The thunder was loud. We had a double rainbow. Oh, that's cool. You take pictures of that. My old injuries flare up with all this rain. Oh, yeah. I've got a neck replacement, cervix, and in my hips. Hips are not too bad. The only reason hips went bad was from doing this ever since I was 2, and it just finally caught up with me. And my right side, I broke a couple ribs, and every time it rains, it feels like it gets real tight, especially the pressure, barometric pressure goes up and down. But yeah, I know that story. I got my share of wounds. Yeah, Edna is a great name. I love Edna. We had an Ethel. I'm trying to think of all my dad's sisters' names. Sally, Shirley, Ethel, Mabel. That's a very old name. You had a Josephine. Yeah, that's a pretty popular name. When we had Ashley, she wanted to name her Ashley, and I'm like, you know how popular that name is, that poor girl. And then I'm watching a video, and I go to leave a comment, and the girl last left the comment was Ashley Davis. I laughed my butt off. I told her, I said, my daughter's name's Ashley. She likes this stuff too. I just thought I'd say, hey. I was named after my grandma. Yeah, I was named after Stephen in the Bible. All my brothers are named after biblical. Timothy, Michael, Stephen. I think Kevin was the only one. But I think there is. No, I don't think there's a Kevin in the Bible. So not Kevin, my little brother. But us 3 older boys were named biblically. I know that for a fact. That's what my mom said. She said each of us boys reminded her of each of those. That's what we were named, I guess. But yeah, but those names are old, like Mabel. You don't hear anybody call their kids Mabel or Edith or. Yeah, they took a lot of names from the Bible back then. Yes, that was very popular then. I'm trying to think of his other sisters. There was Shirley, Sally, Shirley, Edith, Ethel. No, not Edith. Ethel. Thinking Mabel. And then Bernadine. There was a couple more. Some of them I never met. I only met 3 of them. And that was Sally, Shirley, and the last one I said, whatever. I can't think of her name. Hey, Andrew, what's up, big guy? Hope you're on the road, enjoying the road and being safe out there in this crazy weather. Or are you home? I believe last time I saw you left a comment, you were home. So are you back on the road, sir? And I hope you're being safe out there. That weather's crazy, man. I mean, up around Chicago, I think they counted like 7 tornadoes popping up. It was literally an outbreak. I had a couple nice water spouts, I guess, up around the lakes, around Erie. My indigenous side used the names of American presidents. My great-grandpa was named George Washington Miller. Wow. You know what? This is going to sound funny. I don't know the first names of my grandpa Davis and my grandma Davis, and now I'm going to have to ask. I don't think I've ever called or heard them use their first name. I believe he called his dad Pops too. Is that messed up or what? I thought I knew their first names. I may and just can't remember. I left out today for the next 21 days. I'm in SD Springfield, Missouri. My delivery place there, systems crashed, no phone, no computers. Because of the weather, Missouri got hit big time. They were one of the places that had a few serious winds and tornadoes too. So be safe out there, bud. Which way are you going, west or east when you leave there? Because I can tell you, if you head west, you might run into a little bit, but you're probably going to run into a lot more if you head east. But that sucks. There's nothing worse than have to sit around and wait. Well, I'm sure he does. If he's got a load, he probably what are they doing? Putting you up in a hotel or something until everything kicks back on, or do you have to sit there and wait? I'm sure you're loaded. Your truck's well loaded to crash in there if you have to. But I was just curious. That's a good question. I'm in Stanford, Missouri truck stop. Oh, okay. So did they crash before they got there, or did you just leave and went there instead? I'm just curious. I'm just making conversation, since that's what we do. But yeah, we've had several tornado watches. This is something new. Yeah, you guys don't get a whole lot of tornadoes out there. I'm noticing that the East Coast is starting to see them a little bit more. Personally, and this is my opinion, but after watching the weather over the last few years, a lot of people think the Earth is tilting. I think we are tilting. America is slowly tilting south, or we are tilted because we rotate at a route. We wobble when we rotate, and sometimes we tilt. And I'm wondering if we're tilted a little downwards because our weather is a little more tropical. You know, even our winters have not. I mean, the further north you go, the worse it gets. So I'm wondering if we're tilting back and forth from south to north, and it's just weird because this weather pattern is remnants of other areas, and now we're seeing weather in places that you don't see too often. Hey, Chris, how you doing? And yes, I haven't watched. Me and Pop I want to sit down with Pop and watch Predator. I watched most of it, and I stopped because he yelled at me for watching it. So we're gonna have to start over. I'm gonna start it over, but what I've seen so far is just awesome. So I'm ready. I just gotta get him to. He yells at me for watching, and then I go to sit down and watch him with him, and then he wants to watch something. So I told him tomorrow night, since I don't have nothing planned, we're gonna watch that, and I want to watch Romulus again because I kind of watched it when I was working and stuff, doing stuff around the room. So yeah, I'm more excited about seeing Superman in a couple of weeks, in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the 8th. So what about 3.5 weeks, give or take. Anyways, so yes, be careful out there, Andrew. I guess it's been down for a while. I was doing a drop in hugs. Oh, fun. Yeah, they're and our seasons are a little messed up. And like I said, I've noticed weather in places that you usually don't see weather, so that's interesting. Sorry, I was just making sure I haven't missed anybody. I saw Uso in there talking, saying hello to people. Mr. Jarvis going out Friday to see 28 years later. I heard it's pretty good, so we'll see. I do want to see that because I do have the first two, so and I do watch them every so often. like I said, I'm not a big zombie guy. I got kind of sick of zombies, but there's still certain movies I like to watch. So I do watch them every so often. I just watched those because I knew this was getting ready to come out. So I watched the other two. I'm sure me and Giles, or I'll wander up to the theater one day and watch it, try to catch an early matinee of it. It's nice because I'm excited. We're seeing Superman IMAX, so that will be good. I'm just not going to get my hopes up until I sit down and watch it. As long as it's a good popcorn movie, I ain't going to complain. There are some good movies out not many, though. Yeah, there are some good movies coming, so just be patient. I remember, yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines looks really good. I've seen them all, so I'm ready. If that's the last one, then I've probably seen it. I can't remember the last name. Is that where they circle back around? Or is that the new one? Because I know there's a new one coming out or is out now. Or soon to be out. So Uso, tell me. you just have to remember that in zombie movies that it's really about the human. I know. Into the real months. I know. It ties things together. It's the new one. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I know the end of the last one, they literally bring you back around again to the airport, which is cool. So yeah, I thought I saw a movie review of it. I think Stuckman did a movie review of it and gave it pretty good regards. He's one of the few I actually watch. May 16th it came out. Okay, so it's out. Cool. Maybe I'll go see that one day after I get some morning work done or something. I may wander off and see that. It's not surprising for me to go to movies by myself. Sometimes they do the summer movies up at the top of the street at Crossroads for like $5, and they show a lot of older movies. So sometimes I'll go catch that just to see movies I hadn't seen on the big screen. So yeah, I'll have to go check that out. I asked Dad tonight if he wanted to watch the new Snow White. He looked at me with the most evil eyes ever. Like, no. Come on, Dad. It'll be a good birthday treat for you. No. So we can watch a cartoon if you want. Yeah, I know. That I did know. That he passed during the filming. Yeah, he was pretty rough, but he was a strong guy. I'm glad he at least got to do his thing up until he went. Always did like him. He was a good actor. I mean, Candyman is a great movie. He's done some other stuff that I really like him in too. So it cracks me up. I keep seeing on Facebook and a couple other places about how Jason Strahan died. I'm like, man, everybody complains about fake news, but yet it is everywhere. Be My Victim. Is that one of his movies? I think that. Yeah, is that one of your favorite movies? I know the name. Florida sheriff busted CDL paying scam in Florida DMV. Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. Florida's a crazy place. Everybody says Ohio's a crazy place. I hear a lot of crap about Ohio. I live in central Ohio, and pretty much, I mean, yeah, it has its issues, but we're pretty chilled here. I mean, everybody I bumped into, except for the things I see following them, I mean, I've bumped into a few H's, but in most part, everybody's pretty chilled, relaxed, pretty friendly. I loved him in the 90s remake of Night. Yes, he is great in that. I do have that. Tony Todd. Yeah, when? Oh, he died. It was during the filming of Final Destination he passed. He had cancer, right? It was cancer, yeah. He had passed. And that was what, about a year or two ago? About a year ago? I can't remember when they finished filming that. Because it's like he said, it's like Uso said, the movie came out May 16th, so it's been out for a while. DMV Employees charged and passed illegal drivers. Some of the truckers were snagged up too. I'm sure Be New York victim is Be My Next Victim is the what Candyman should have said to his next victims. Oh, there's a movie I think called Be My Next Victim. I'll have to look it up. That's why it rang a bell, and I'm like, I don't know if Todd's in it. Last November. Yes, okay. I knew it wasn't that long ago. I remember when he passed. I just don't remember the date. Yeah. Yeah, I love the Candyman movie. The first one. The other one. That's like hold on. Can't think of the name of the movie. I'll just pass it and then it'll come to me. Well, hello there, Mr. Nighthawk. How you doing, good sir? I've been trying to get with Jemmy. She's busy. Father's Day was Sunday, so it was hard to figure things out. And I've been running around, it was Father's Day and then my pop's birthday. So I've been go and trying to keep him moving. But I do think she wants to get with you. So let me tie her down because right now little man's out of school. So it's going to make it a little more interesting. And I think probably the only day she might be able to do something is probably either Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. So we'll figure it out. I'd love to be on the show, and I know she wants to be. But I hope you're having good, and I hope you're feeling good, sir. You're in my prayers, my good man. He was scary looking, dude, until he smiled. Yeah, he had that smile that kind of give you a little bit. No, it's Be My Next Victim. Be My Victim. I think there was a movie called Be My Next Victim, but I can't remember. He would say it to the blonde, and yes, that I didn't remember that, but now that you say that, yes, I do remember that now. Doing okay. Hello, soon. That's good. I'm glad you're doing okay because you're in my prayers, man. I know you're going through some stuff. So, best show I've seen that's streaming is Dexter. Duster. Right now, I'm not watching. I'm trying to catch up on the shows I'm watching now. It just gets difficult with this. Yeah, I know. Believe me, I've been there, dude. I've been through chemo. Been through it by myself. It sucked. Lost all my hair, my eyebrows. Well, I didn't lose all my hair. I had patches, and I just haven't shaved it off. But yeah, it was a fun ride. But I've been clean since. I saved my kids from having to do bone marrow transplants and tests, see who was compatible with me. And those are painful. I would put my kids through that. I told them to slam me with the chemo and let's get it done and over with. And what happens, happens. There's a movie, Satan's Little Helper. The Satan is quiet says nothing. Has a little boy he has tagging along with while he kills. Offs people. I got to be careful what I say because for YouTube. I've seen Satan's Little Helper. That's a weird movie. I watched that a few years back. That's an older movie. How long did I watch it? I watched it on Halloween one night out of boredom because I'd watched all my favorite Halloween movies and I was just piddling around. So I saw it and I watched it. I just caught up on Mobland. Yeah, I got a lot of catching up to do. Now, like I said, man, it's been busy. I'm working on a show about the Kentucky Whisper Monster. Ooh. I need to get a hold of Ryan. Do you know how he's doing? That sounds like a good one, Nighthawk. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, it's not a bad movie. I liked it. It's one of those movies you don't hear a whole lot about. Nobody talks about it, but it's kind of, if people would watch more of it, it'd probably be a small little cult classic. There's a couple of them like that were released that still haven't gotten much of a following, but they're neat little fun movies, little popcorn scary movies. See, if it's a popcorn movie, I'm good with it. If I can sit back and enjoy myself, I'm good with that. But there's been some last few horror movies, man, have touched on some subjects that I know too well. Ryan is doing okay, not great, but he's dealing with it all. I know he is. I need to reach out to him. I was giving him time. We have talked, so thank you very much, Nighthawk. Me and him have talked. I was just giving him time. He knows I'm here, but if I don't hear from him probably by Friday or over the weekend, I'll give him a shout and check on him. Maybe go and kick him in the butt a couple times. Just kidding. I know it's gonna probably happen. I'll probably be the same way when he goes. I'll probably go dormant for a while. I don't lie. Me and him learned a lot about. You thought you think you know your dad or your parents, period, until you grow up and you're both older, and especially him. And you start really talking to him and really getting to know him because we're together just about 24 hours a day. His mommy passed, Edna. I didn't know if you knew that or not. Yes, his mommy passed. So he's going through a lot right now. He took good care of her. Frank and yeah, I remember that movie. That's an interesting movie. I talk to him nightly to check on him. After all, he's like little brother to me. That's good. He needs that. He's my bro too, but I like to get, because I know kind of what he's going through, because I know when he goes, I'm going to feel it. Well, hello, Tony the Rock. Long time no see. I hope you're well. We're doing good. Oh, you've been doing some training? Great. Gemma will be here Friday night. I didn't know if you know what was going on. It's just me tonight. Gemma will be here Friday night, 7:15 for oracles. So she's still doing them. We just moved them to Friday nights. And I'm here on Wednesday nights at 10 and Saturdays at midnight. Yeah. So give him a little love, Edna. Like I said, when he goes, I'll probably go dormant for a little bit. So you people, if you know I go quiet, you'll know why. And I'm sure Gemma will keep you up to date if I'm still around. He's liable to live longer than me. In 92, and yeah, he has bad days, but man, he's still, when he gets to kicking it, man, he gets to kicking it. So, and I know Ryan's mom was not in the best condition. So I've, been praying for him a lot and keeping him on my thoughts. I give him time. Like I said, I always give people 2 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks since I talked to him, a week or so. So I figure I'd give him over the weekend. Figure if he needs to yell at me, he will. And if I don't hear from him soon, I'll check on him and start bugging him, let him know I'm thinking of him. It's been a long time. I'm not sure if I've been here in the past few years. I've survived a widow. Oh, man, yeah. I'm sure there's a lot going on. We've changed, like I said, we've changed oracles to Friday night. I'm still a list keeper as of now. We start at 7:15. She's been starting early if she can. And we go to about 10. They're still free. For a little bit, she was trying to charge because she needed the money, but she felt guilty about this, so she went back doing freebies. And members will go first, and then first come serve after that. I do streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesday at 10, and then I do Gemma's replays. I think I'm going to do Gemma's replay this Saturday at 11. Yeah, I know you do. She is a gem. She is a very precious gem. John is as great as Punisher. Yeah, he is. Tony, haven't seen you since Steve Talkton streams. I think he used to pop in a little bit after that, after she moved on. He was kind of hit and miss, but it's good to know that you're okay. I'll let her know you popped in for sure if she's not watching. Sometimes she watches, sometimes she doesn't. But she'll definitely watch the replay. But I will let her know that you had stopped in. It's good to see it. I'm glad you're doing okay. And I'm glad you're training for a new job. That's great. Way to make it stronger, make yourself stronger out of it. I started a new career path. I used to be a quality assurance technician. Oh, wow, cool. Did you notice the air today? Static charge. You could feel it deep in your soul. Oh, it's been like that all across the state. There's a lot going on. If you've ever heard Nighthawk, if you've ever heard of Mr. MBB 333, check him out. He's talking about that very stuff in a lot of his band. There's a lot of flickering lights. They've noticed some energy signals in Antarctica that are coming. You know, they're looking for signals in space, but they realized they were getting a signal, but it was coming from underneath them. It's starting to lightning here again. And it's pretty trippy. So check out his channel. He might give you some information you didn't know. Oh, you know him? Yes, he's a good friend. Good. Yeah, check him out because there's stuff going on. Those ley lines are a lot more important than people realize. And there's a lot going on. Been training for, I'm not even going to say it. I'm ammonia technician. See, I can't say certain words, so I'm not going to try, Tony. The Tourette's have destroyed most of my ability to talk in some way. So that's awesome. That's good. I'm glad you're moving on and getting stronger from it. Hey, Latra, it's all right to be late. You know, we all hang out here. It's all good. Cats taking off or disappearing. I've heard several, and there's some I really see. I didn't see. Oh yeah, it's lightning here now. Been on and off, but it's picking up again. So if I light up, you know what's going on. Jeez, it's been forever. Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time I saw you was Tony was probably around Dave Scott's. No, yeah, when she was on SOR, and maybe a couple of her Oracle streams, but it's been a while. Yeah, this energy thing that's going on right now. Even when we had clear skies this afternoon and temperature jumped up and it got muggy, you could feel static in the air. You could literally feel it. It was pretty intense at times. And now, if I go outside, I can feel it in the house. But if I go outside, I'm sure I'm going to be able to feel it even more. Because it has been tense, especially at night. It's been so long. I almost forgot to like the stream. Oh, it's all right, dude. Just make sure you come in and say hi to Gemma Friday night if you can. She would love to see you. Know you're okay. I'll let her know what went down. I am glad you're okay. Pets are seeing more than us and disappearing or being unalived. Yes. And people are not talking about that at all. There's very few people talking. You heard about the pelicans that dropped from the sky, and I didn't hear about that one, the white ones. No, I haven't heard about that. I have to look. See, the people are not talking about this stuff. There's certain people to bring it up, and then you don't hear about it again. So I'm going to have to look into that. Yeah, there's some weird animal stuff going on right now, too. Waftering matter? Haha. Yeah, he just went through a big one. They said lightning, but that's impossible. Lightning's a funny thing, to be quite honest. Because I've been hit by lightning. It's not pleasant. I'm surprised I lived. They were surprised I lived. And I got zapped good. I mean, the tree behind me literally caught on fire. And then I got hit once in the garage, but not like I did at We were at a fair up north, and one of these little town fairs that we thought we'd go check out. They said, lady, saw a pelican swallow a whole litter of kittens. Owner grabbed it and pulled them out. Yeah, I've seen videos of stuff like that. Pelicans are huge. Oh yeah, they're big animals. Yeah, they are. And you wouldn't believe what they can fit in their mouths. It's amazing. I'll look up the video for it. Leave in the comments. Yeah, just leave it in the comments. I'm gonna write down some names to stream tonight. I want to get Latro and Nighthawk and a couple of you folks some wrenches. They will eat anything. I saw eat an adult duck. Really? I wouldn't surprise me though. They're like the flying carp trash. I don't know, but I've heard they eat just about anything. If they can get it in there, they're going to eat it. 1 second. Edna, you still out there? I hope you're okay. You got quiet. You're just listening to the chat, and I know you're hurting. So lots of love to you, honey, if you don't speak again. But yeah, I've seen some weird stuff with my dog. The other day, it was really nice out. The only time he goes in the bathroom or in the tub is when there's storms. Either that, he'll go upstairs and hide under Giles's bed. But the other day, it wasn't bad out there at all. It was kind of nice, muggy and humid. I come out of my room, and he's laying in the tub, and I'm like, dude, what's up? And I look outside, and it's not raining, it's not storming. So I get him out of the tub, and he went right back in there. I go outside, and you could feel everything. And I was like, that explains it. Yeah, she was a hurting little puppy. I know how she feels. Dad knows how she feels. I hadn't hurt that bad. The only thing that hurts right now has been my neck. I thought it was the way I was sleeping, but I'm starting to realize it's the weather. My hips don't bother me too much anymore. I mean, now that I'm exercising, get after my little issue, and spending those 3 days in the hospital, coming home, and have to be on an air compressor every so often, I've changed a lot. I've doubled up on the Tai Chi and started a little more workouts and walking, keeping Dad active. Still here. Yeah, I know you're listening, hon. That's why we all said we love you. And just wanted to make sure you were listening so we can make fun. Well, we were hoping you weren't listening so we can make fun of you and call you sweet and sour, but we love you too much to do that while you're listening. I'm being rotten. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Chris. Just, dude, that's one thing we were going to push for a while now. Is just I don't mind the info. It's all good. Just don't get political. We all knew it was coming way or another, but I don't even want to go there. Like I said, I don't want to get political on here. We wanted them to come to the tables, but like I said, I don't want to get too political. You guys can do it in chat, but if I get a Dolan's, I'll have to say something. I don't want to do it on the screen because the Gemma's asked us not get political. She asked it in her own stream. So, and it's not really political. You're talking news. I get it, but YouTube doesn't. Just know. I know, Chris, you don't have to get all. I'm just saying, I know you're talking world news, and I get that, but she has asked that to, we want to let us get too political, and she's done it on her show. So, you can give news. That's good. I don't mind you giving news. You guys keep it in the chat. Just watch what you say and how you say it. That's all I ask. I won't get political on stream. That will be the day. Yeah, we love you, Edna. I never used the popcorn emoji so many times as lately. Yeah, there's a lot of reason to be eating popcorn right now. Yeah, I know. And I said that, Chris. So, you guys are talking news. Just don't let it get political. That's all I ask. That's Gemma's rules. This is Gemma's channel. But other than that, you guys are good. You can talk all you want. Just watch how you say it, because they've been scanning my chat. So, and I don't want Gemma getting any trouble. That's all. That's why I may do my own stream. That way we could do things like this, because, I have a few things to say. But, I'm pretty in the middle on a lot of stuff. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm me. I'm an American. That's the only way I think. Whatever's best for this country. That's all that matters. And the people of this country are more important than any government. I did use the rain stick for the parade. Maybe I went too far. Oh, Edna. Maybe you did. It was night we went hot. All the needed was Biden's word, and the night is first got it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got to watch what I read, because I'm telling you, YouTube and small channel. And she's a bigger channel now, so they pay a little bit more channel. Once you start breaking certain numbers, they start paying a little more attention. Breaks that in the stick. Yeah, she's we're gonna have to take that rain stick from her. It's all a mystical world. They want us to think about oil or nukes. Yeah, now, Hawk, this is what I say, because I believe in God and Jesus, and they are supernatural beings. Supernatural beings created this supernatural world, and everything is not as it seems. And there's forces on this earth that are just outright evil. And actually, what's going on around us is a fight for our souls and forcing people to take sides. So that's my opinion, and I'll leave it at that. No tornado stick for you. Yeah, don't give her one of those. Oh my gosh. Or Sue. I wanted it to rain on his parade. It hasn't stopped since. It wasn't his parade. It was the Army's parade. They've been around a long time. They just wanted to celebrate. They've been protecting us for a long time. My dad's a Marine. That made him proud to see, his fellow forces standing up proud. Those guys do a lot. I have a lot of friends in the military. I have two of them that are very active right now. I just wanted, it was good to see it. 250 years. And indigenous people have played a big part in some of those wars, especially World War II, Vietnam, Korea. So, yeah, it was good to see him stand proud. And my dad stood attention every time that flag came, and it was impressive to watch that old man try to climb out of that chair and stand up. Yep, code breakers. They were also used for tracking, and some of them were better soldiers than my dad said. That the guys he knew were better soldiers than most of the guys he knew in Korea. No, you did not. Ooh, I want a tornado stick. Don't, Edna, don't. Just don't give her a hurricane stick or an earthquake stick. Oh my gosh, she will overdo it. Or get her a stick that's all in one. That's even worse. Edna Parter gets no one. That's hilarious. Thanks, Chris. I needed that. Edna Parter. Instead of making rain, can't you just make sunshine, dear? Cool weather, maybe in about anywhere between about 65 and 72 would be perfect. Light breeze, no humidity, maybe a passing little shower every once in a while to kind of water the flowers. Can't you do that? No, you do not. I love it. No, you do not. And is trying to play grand. I'm not even, I can't say it. Druid. I have a feather wand, Chris. Oh no, that's even worse. Now, Hawk, you better get with this one. She's causing flooding rains, man. We are always used for unliving and things that great white father can't do. Father can't do with his armies. I like that. Not Hawk. I like that. Druid. I had a feeling that's what you were saying. I was like, wait a minute. But you know me, Chris. I'm a goof anyways. I'm a goofus. Gemma calls me the goofus dragon, ghost dragon. And if she's seen some of my TikToks, they're pretty goofy. I'm just having fun. I don't even care if anybody watches or not. I'm just having fun. Edna, don't play. I know you don't, do you? As she giggles in the background. I'm glad you're smiling. That'll help the pain. Believe me, Edna, that will help the pain. It's good laughter. Nothing like good laughter to make you feel good. Wash away some of the troubles. Laughter sometimes heals the wounds that tears don't. You know that? My father told me that once. And I liked it. I don't know where he heard it from. Oh, I mean, Saturday night, I promised I forgot to get them out. And I meant to because I even just saw my note on my table. I'm going to show you pictures of my dad when he was in the service. That's what he looked like actually, he looked cuter than Fonz. You know, rolled up sleeves and rolled up pants cut. Nighthawk, which nation are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Sometimes, Edna, sometimes medicine staffs and wands or rattles can work backwards. She wanted it to rain. She just got it going a little too hard. Now she's feeling it. You got to remember, too, when you use magic, sometimes it comes back at you threefold. That's what Patricia or Patty tells me all the time. When you do that stuff, it comes back at you threefold. So be prepared. You don't give without you don't use without giving. There's always a trade. I'm Lakota and Cherokee. I hope I said that right. I'm so sucky right now with my ability to talk. I wish I could go back at least 10 years. And so you could actually understand me most of the time. I don't sound like a mumbled goober. Anyone notice that the families are going to crap these days? Everyone is having troubles, like family type troubles. Yeah, and if you notice, that happens throughout the years, and it's history repeats itself. But this time it's worse than normal. And like I said, that's because there are forces at work fighting with each other over good and evil. And that's our souls. And it says in the Bible, they're going to come after our children first. That's who they'll go after first. And that's what they've been doing. And it sucks. And we as mothers and fathers, or just fathers and just mothers, need to start standing out. I've had 3 different people come to me with their troubles. I get it all the time. Dad was shocked. What was it? On his birthday, we went out and did some running. I went and got him cigars. We're standing in the cigar store because he's on Facebook Live, but with the guy that runs the cigar store, the guy's pretty, he's got a mouth on him, but he's an Army guy or military guy. So Dad just kind of relates to him. And we came in to get him cigars, and guy gave him pretty good discount, and then gave him, I think it was a $15, $20 cigar to smoke. So he pulled up a real nice chair for him and told him to sit down and have a cigar. And the dad didn't realize he was streaming on Facebook, and he was talking to him and asking him questions. And Pop got up and made Pop go up and look at the screen, but I don't think it registered Pop that he was actually looking at live feed. But we're standing there. I'm standing around, kind of roaming around the store while he relaxes and talks with the guy and tells jokes and stuff, because that's what they were doing. And a couple guys walk in and get talking to the guy and Dad, and another guy. There was 2 of them. Well, where the one guy was talking to them, he was wandering around the store, and he walks up to me, says hi, and we start talking. Next thing I know, he's telling me everything. It's like, dude, because you seem like a really nice guy. It's like I'm his son. Yeah, I could tell. No wonder you have such a powerful gift. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He's actually one of the people that when I go into his streams, I pick up on him immediately. Immediately. He pops in Gemma's stream. Before he even pops in, I know he's around. I knew he was around tonight. I just wasn't sure if he was going to come in. I don't like saying something until I know that they come in or not. Nighthawk Strangers podcast channel. I'm related to Geronimo on the Apache side. My people were Cherokee and Blackfoot. I'm a Viking, so I guess I'm an outcast. Took me forever to find them on the rolls. Bullets don't harm him. Every brave leader. I like that too. Families are screwed up because they used to. Preferences against you and decide. Yeah. Take out 2 birds with 1 stone. Rainbow. Yeah, well, problem is I don't know how old you are, Uso. In my day, when you were bad and you crossed the line, you got your butt whooped. And if you didn't get your butt whooped, you got prized possessions taken away from you until you learned your manners. It was as simple as that. I don't condone hitting, but there's a point when you got to crack that kid's butt. There's always a point when they're crossing that line double time. Then that's when you got to put your foot down. But I don't approve. If you can find another way to punish them and know what gets them without hurting them. But sometimes, I know with 4 boys, I mean, if the boys didn't take care of each other, dad would step in or mom. Started releasing UFO information. Was Red Horse a little bighorn? My grandfather was born during Little Bighorn in June of 18. You know, Nighthawk, I was on the Big Red Bay, the Army base, Big Red one. That's where Custard's home is at. They have a statue and everything. But it was kind of cool. And that place was old. And then, of course, it's bigger now. But it was very educational. I learned a lot while I was there. His house is haunted big time. Oh, big time. We saw some weird stuff. Yeah. The Custard's house is haunted. We've seen, I was telling Ashley, we were driving around the base, and I was telling her, there's a soldier standing over there. Looks like he's in a military. It looks like he's in like a Yankee outfit. And then there was one. It looked like he was dressed, in the old Custard outfit. But yeah, I know he's from Ohio. But we don't talk about it. Yeah. But his house is in Kansas. When he was General or whatever he was. Yeah, it was General Custer. Was the other side that the other side's what Scots Irish. So you're okay, Ghost. Yeah, I have a little bit Irish in us and a little bit of German, but the bulk of our heritage is from Norway. Um, I'm finding out more every day because I wouldn't take a DNA test. But I think my brother Mike did, and he's been dropping all kinds of stuff on us, which is really cool. But he also did. He also does his. He likes me. He's like me. He does his research. He's finding out all kinds. But we are definitely Viking, with a touch of Irish and a touch of German, as we crossed across the sea and made it all our way over here. I got our clan name somewhere written down. Yes, Chris, you are right. Red Horse, Red Cloud, and Crazy Horse were there. Yeah, they all were there, weren't they? Custer, Sherman, and Grant all from Ohio. Yes, I know. Yeah, Patton's there. Patton was at Big Run One base too, where they kept some of his tanks, and he did training there. But yeah, I know Custer was. I know Sherman was. I know Grant was. I think I've been to Grant's house. I think I've been to Sherman's house too. I have a cartoon captured Custer's last view. It's a bunch of Indians looking. Yeah, I've seen that one. There's a Far Side one like that too. Mine fled from the trail, tears, and hid in the hills of West Virginia. Oh, I believe that. I would believe that. Now, if I remember right, I believe one of my aunts, great aunts married a Blackfoot, but that is kind of, I don't know how that works. But I knew she had married an indigenous man. I'm pretty sure it was a Blackfoot. Born in Lake County, Ohio. Yep. Grant's house is 40 minutes from here. Yes. I remember we used to take back roads into Klein and stuff. I always got tired of riding the highway, so I'd take back roads. We passed the house. Showed the kids. That was many moons ago. Oh, excuse me, guys. Hold on. We had teriyaki chicken. I made teriyaki chicken for dinner tonight, and rice and green beans, man. It was good, but I think I ate a little too fast. Actually, Custer's family is here where I live. Currently, they aren't friends of mine. I just knew that when we were there at the base, actually, it was kind of cool because we did a little tour and stuff. It was kind of nice. I was only there for 2 days, but we did a lot. And she fed me good. She baked a bunch of goodies. Oh my gosh. She's baking goodies here now. Over at Mom's. I got to go over and see her tomorrow. I got to drop off some stuff for her when she heads back. For my oldest granddaughter from her, Rebecca. He's no friend of mine. They are currently friend of mine. I love that. It's like my great grandpa Griffey lived in between the Hatfields and McCoys. He actually has a slug. Well, one of them, I think it was a Hatfield. So I'm cutting through and thought it was a McCoy and shot him in the leg. He lucky. He said they're lucky he didn't have to amputate, but yeah, had a musket ball in his leg. He still has the musket ball. He had the musket ball. I don't know where it's at now because he's done long gone. But some of his stories, man, he played bluegrass. He was a bluegrass player. Played with Ernest Tubbs and all of them in the young days. So no callers among the cusses, huh? I've got a ribeye and a sirloin thawing with burgers for the dog. And there you go. We had teriyaki chicken tonight. We had T-bones last night. Man, my son treated me and Dad got, it was Dad's Father's Day and then his birthday Tuesday. So Monday night, Giles made T-bones. Oh my God. Ashley came over Father's Day and made beef and noodles, homemade beef and noodles. Oh. So we were chowing good. Last night, we kind of weighing it and ate leftovers because the T-bones Giles got were huge. They were nice. They were so good. And tonight I made teriyaki chicken and rice, kept it come on simple. And I like teriyaki chicken. In fact, Custer's descendant is a state trooper, so I got to keep my pony under 60. I love it. Does he have the gold hair? No. I wonder if it ran in his family. I was raised not to trust the government. I had relatives that wouldn't carry a $20 bill because Andrew Jackson was on it. Even my dad, a military man, and a proud man at that, and a proud American. They'll tell you straight to your face, you don't trust the government. Question everything they do. We have arrowheads somewhere that were found when they dug up my grandfather's basement using horses in Willoughby, Ohio. Oh, that's cool. Man, I can go up to the cornfields around here and some of the soy fields, soy plants, some of the farm fields around here, and walk them. You would be amazed at the handful of arrowheads and stuff you would find. I think in one walk about a few years back, we walked through one just for the fun of it. Me and a buddy. It was right after. Well, it was after I got divorced. We wanted to do something. We got bored, and he wanted to get me out of the house, so we went and looked for arrowhead. This guy lets us walk his farm field. I mean, he had a hand. It was amazing. I mean, some were chipping, some were broken, but I mean, he had a handful. The farmer told us once that once he started plowing the land, his father started plowing the land, and they were finding, animal bones and stuff like that. And I said, there was probably a camp here at one time. And the tribe was probably settled here at one time, passing through on it. Sorry, I can't type tonight. You're fine. Most natives won't take a 20 in the south. Flint Ridge in Ohio was used by all nations for flint nipping. That place is cool. The Flint Ridge. Been there a couple times. Took Girl Scouts. Me and ex took the Girl Scouts there once. It was pretty cool. It's like High Banks. There's a Flint slate wall there, and Flint wall there, and it's pretty cool. And it can, pretty long stretch of it, but it's also got a lot of mounds there. Not very big ones, those small ones. The one they have on display, and then I think that I've now counted 3 there that I don't think either they know they're there or they just haven't touched them, and it's just left them be, which is fine with me. I'd rather see them do that. They're all overgrown, and then I know 2 more bigger ones. They're up in Delaware. They're hidden on a farm field in a little mini forest. I think that's why he didn't plow it. And I'm pretty sure the guy said he thinks that's why his father didn't plow that land, take those trees out and plow that land. It was because they were there. But he says, as far as he knows, nobody knows about him. He hasn't said anything, so he lets it be. That's a good man. They all come here to make weapons. Figures Ohio. Wonder why Ohio gets crap. Don't we also make military weapons here? I believe we do. We found them everywhere on the farm, plowing up the land. Oh, I bet you probably found musket balls and stuff like that too. If you had a metal detector, isn't that? Especially in your area. I would be just looking for like slugs. You might be surprised what you might find in that land up there. I want to take one next time I go to Jersey. There's some areas in Jersey I would love to take a metal detector to. The tribes whose minerals were nerf and wiffle didn't do. There was a bent tree down by the creek, an old Indian marker. The broken tree now because it's broken now. Man, chat's flying. I missed it now. I lost it. We found them. Yeah, okay. Tribes. I read that. There was a bent tree down by the creek and an old Indian marker. It broken now because people would sit on it. Yep. Most arrowheads, spirit tips you find are not recent tribes, though they are post Ice Age between 800 and 1,000 years. Well, that's interesting to know. Didn't realize it was so late. All I've got to get see, I can't talk. It was a little late. Got a podcast to set up. Well, you go get set up. Good service. Always a pleasure to see you. I will, or Gemma will. If you got Gemma's email, reach out to her, and I'll make sure she knows that you're trying, because she's had her hands full. Now that he's home full time now, well, until he starts his little day camp. But yes, and then I'll say something to her too. But Nahak, good night. Have a good podcast. If I may swing in, if you're podcasting tonight, I might stop in and say hi. Depends on how I feel after this. I wander sometimes after sitting here for an hour or two. I have to get up and wander around. So God only knows. Have a wonderful night. But I'll probably stop in if you are streaming tonight, because I know you're behind me in time. So have a wonderful stream. I'll pop in. I probably will pop in and say hi. Listen. A lot of times I just come in and listen. I don't even talk. Just like I do for Mog. Sometimes I go in there and don't say a word. Same thing with a couple other people. I just kind of go in and listen and piddle around my room. I like to listen more than I like to gab sometimes, believe it or not. This, what you see here, is a new me that I'm working on. It's different when I was a manager and I was out walking the crowd in the restaurant, or working at Airwaves as a R&D guy, where I had to interact with people. I kind of shut myself off when they made me quit working. So I'm now trying to get back into it again. I'm not a limelight kind of guy. Sometimes I wish Gemma was here so she'd ramble. I have a couple of those ghosts. Grandpappy found them. Oh, really? Yeah, I love that stuff. Good night. And have a wonderful one. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Be well, my good friend. Brother. We're all brothers and sisters. You know that, right? In one form or another. And just like brothers and sisters, we can be pain in the butts to each other. I'm being silly now. What time is it? I haven't even been paying attention. Oh, it's only 11 o'clock. We usually go to about midnight, unless Edna keeps me up all night. She has a habit of doing that. I do that sometimes. Listen while I work. This was the one thing. I sucked at taking tests at schools, and because I rocked and I was always in motion, and people didn't understand why, so they always figured I was just hyper, because that's what they called it, hyperactivity. They didn't call it HDAD or whatever it is. They put me on Ritalin and stuff, and it just made me worse. But they never knew. They didn't realize I was listening. So when I'd take a written test or do tests, I would study days. And it was like, as soon as I sat down that test, but if they'd give me my senior year, all my final tests were done verbally. And they were like, you do listen. I go, I told you. I just not, when I sit down, it's just, it like goes blank. And, you have to know something's up. See, back then, we didn't know what was wrong. I didn't realize and had the Tourette's thing come up until after 2 years of them telling me it was Parkinson's. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah. So I love to listen, and I'm a good listener, anyways. Ask Gemma. I'm always observing and listening, anyways. That's who I am. So yeah, I'm always doing something and listening in the background, and I'm listening. Now people don't realize it, but I am listening. I may not be able to repeat word by word, but I am listening. I can pretty much tell you what's going on. The communication is good for you, Ghost. That's something I enjoy when I fill in at the liquor store. Yeah, when I was a manager, man, that was our job during rush hours and stuff, especially up in Anza and Ponderosa. You walked around with a coffee pot. You made sure everybody was happy. You worked the line. You kept talking to the customers, kept them coming in. And Airwaves, I worked in R&D, so I had to deal with all the printers, all the artists, ink guys. Did all the ink mixing and stuff. I had to deal with them all, so I had to learn all over. So I was already from years of being a manager and talking to the public. It was nice because when I went into that, I was good. But once they made me stop working, and I kind of focused on life as what was becoming, kind of lost a little bit of that. But she kind of worked that day on SOR when she invited me on to kind of be there for her because she was the only one who was going to be there that night. Ended up having problems herself, and I ended up doing like half hour, almost an hour, half hour, 45 minutes of the show by myself till John came on, and then she finally came on. Kind of sparked a fire. But anyways, they're around like a musket. Yeah. Musket balls are a large caliber, like 50, 70. Never fired a flintlock or musket. I have. They're talking about a kick on a gun. Woo! My brother's got one. My oldest brother's got one. And he used to go out and fire it. But man, that baby had a kick. Man, my shoulder was hurt for days. I was not prepared for that. He said, beware. I was beware, and I still felt that. They're really heavy, too. Yeah, they are. They got some weight to them. Yes, they do. A lot of the lead ones, that's what caused a lot of infections and stuff. Those are really heavy lots. I took the job managing the Thai restaurant to help my friend. It was interesting experience to say the least. Wasn't bad. It wasn't about the money. Yeah. When I first started working, it was about the money, but it was about spending money and then living money. I've done my best not to let money rule my life. There's been moments when I was married, it did, and it really sucked, and I didn't like it. I was a lot happier when I just, prioritized the money and just let it go. Did what I needed to do and moved on. And that's the way I try. I know, money's unnecessary evil, but unfortunately, I try not to let money issues trouble me. There's more important things in the world right now, and has been in my past. So, but yeah, a lot of the jobs that I did, because I worked many jobs. I was a grave digger, cemetery. I did that for a while. Did a bunch of jobs. Worked in Myers, and worked in a couple fast food places as second and third jobs. Always was great, but I'm not really the person that likes to be out in the front. I'm not a limelight person, so like I always say, this is kind of like a therapy for me too. Plus, you guys are good about my ability to talk, so nobody gives me too much garb about it. So sometimes I hear stuff afterwards, but nothing really bad. Our chef is now helping other family opening a new Thai restaurant. Love Thai food. South Austin. Want a lot of work. Wow. A new restaurant. Those are always hard to get kicked up, but once they open and get going, if the food's good and the atmosphere is good, you do good. Especially Asian food always does good. Especially if they have carry out and takeout and delivery. I'm bummed because my favorite Japanese place here stopped delivering. So now I got to go get it, but it's worth it. Gemma would love their sushi. They have great sushi, but I'm not a sushi eater. Dad likes it. They make a killer salmon too. He loves their salmon. Being sick will break you. I can't afford it anymore. Yes, and that's the other reason why I gave up worrying about money was my health issues. I just got tired of fretting over it, especially when I realized, hey, the way out of it, especially went through the chemo and everything, the only way out of it, so I wouldn't be paying bills the rest of my life, was I literally sold almost every collectible I had. Thank God some of it was worth really, really good money and saved my butt. So I've just made it a point even more after that I wasn't going to make a big deal about it. That and you learn money goes fast when you have kids. So I'm done. And between kids and health issues, oh yeah, it's easy to watch it go fast. But yeah, tell me about it, Edna. I got that hospital visit I had last time for 3 days. And then coming home with a machine that I'm patiently waiting for them to come pick up. They charge me they charge me for that. And it's like, I don't want you come get it, or I'm going to bring it to you myself. You don't want that because I'm going to ask for money that I didn't use it for the times I didn't use it. Yeah, these people. But I got to admit, my insurance has covered pretty much everything. But the things they haven't covered or they couldn't cover, is what got me. Almost caught up on it. There are 5,000 restaurants in Austin. We achieved an incredible number of 5-star reviews. I'm very proud of that. I would be if it took too much time. We got dinged. Unfair. Well, it happens. You always got one out there that runs their mouth. They're never happy with anything. I learned that a long time in the restaurant business. Every night, there's always one or two people no matter what you do, you're not going to please them. And then you ask them, and then at the end of the night, as they leave, you ask them, why did you even bother coming in here anyways if you weren't going to be happy in the first place? But I never say it. One lady made me mad one night. She kept returning the T-bone that her husband got. He wasn't the one complaining. She was. I finally went to him when I brought the second one back and said, okay, is this going to be good enough? The first one was fine. She's the one making a big deal about it. And she goes, well, in that case, you can grab him another one. I said, no, I'm not. She got up and said, screw this. But she had already eaten her dinner. I don't know why she was doing it. She was just I think she was just torturing her poor husband. I don't know. It was a messed up situation. It kind of made me mad. I told her, I said, don't come back. He can come back. I said, what I said was, he can come back, but you're not welcome. And she didn't like that very well. Neither did my big man. So, but he laughed when I told him what went down. So he's like, okay, I'll give you that. I would probably said the same thing. And he goes, that poor guy. I tell you though, working in a restaurant, it wasn't as bad working in a factory when I was working for Airwaves as a screen printer and screen guy, and then I worked in my way up to R&D. I didn't see too much because once I got to know people, the things behind them seemed to disappear. But in a restaurant, even when I go to restaurants, it's like going to the store. It's like every couple people have something standing behind them or crawling on them. And I don't know how I made it through 15 years seeing that stuff and doing my job and acting like nothing was wrong. Because they were nice. I would leave. It would be so bad, especially on Friday nights after, whenever, just before we closed, everybody would come hit us right before we closed, before they go out and drink. And because we were right on campus. And some of the things I seen come in that store, and I would leave shaking. But I was still understanding a lot of it, especially a lot of the crazier stuff then. Not so much now. Now I just go with the flow. It doesn't matter how good you are or how hard you try. There will always be people. Oh yeah, there's always somebody that complains. Always, always. I had an artist at Airwaves that was. I mean, no matter how many colors you went through, how many times you had to fix his artwork to make it look good, he was never happy. It was like, dude, I finally had to go to his boss and go, look, either guy makes up his mind on this project or get a new artist to do it, because this guy's driving me nuts. I'm already 2 hours and 3 hours. I was 3 hours in overtime and on a Saturday, and my boss was getting upset. And I'm like, dude, it's not me. It's just the artist. You got to go talk to him. And he was never happy, man. I don't even, now Airwaves is the company I worked for, is all jet sprays, and it's run by 50 people. And when I worked there, it was like almost 200 of us, about 150 during the day, and about 50 people at night. Maybe a little smaller crews sometime during the summer, because we wouldn't run the ovens as much because it gets so hot in there. People would pass out. It doesn't matter. This is a life lesson most will never learn. I tip better now. Well, now that tips are not being taxed, I feel a little more freer to tip. Hopefully that will happen, because I remember the day they started taxes on tips. My ex was working at Bob Evans, and I remember this day she came. They told her when she came, the day they told her, and she came home, she was pissed, and I don't blame her. She made good tips. And once they started taxing tips and stuff, and people were learning that, they were getting taxed, people didn't tip as much. Soapbox off. Anybody remember that show, Soap? That's a show that you don't hear a whole lot about. Every so often it randomly comes up. That was a weird show. I'm just trying to keep chat going. It's slowly getting quiet, which is fine. It is 11:22. Maybe I'll take it about 11:30. We'll call it a night. That'll give me a chance to pace a little bit and then get some workout in before I settle in. I want to go put dishes away too. I got laundry downstairs I got to get. IRS code required the rest to record tips for minimum wage. Yeah, that crap was crap. It's like you used to be able to give somebody a car and just put like, I paid $1 for it. Now they're being picky about that. If you my brother would sell me a car for $2. He'd actually give it to me, but we'd go to get it and I'd put it down for like $2, and you get away with that. Now you can't. Now they want you. Now they just make a B about it. Yeah. They got to tax everything. But like I said, I don't want to get too political, because taxes is one of the things that upsets me. It's just BS. When I post, everybody leaves. Nah, it's about that time. Usually I start noticing if it's me and Adna running, it's me and you or somebody else talking. And usually about 11:30, 12 o'clock, it starts to slow down. You got SRR starting, and if they haven't started already, a couple other people late night streaming, which is fine. I'm all good with that. And I enjoy talking to you, Latro. You're good. And there's people, I'm sure Edna's listening in the background, laughing at me, calling me terrible names, waving her wand, her feathered wand, trying to make it rain on me. That's just in case you're listening, which I knew you were. BTDT, thick skin, been called worse but better. I've been called some of the worst things, unjustly too, which I take a lot of heat. Sometimes I like to take heat for people just to see how people realize that I'm taking the heat for them, especially people that know me. So, yeah, because I'll get even with them one way or another. It will come one way or another. Always say what goes around comes around. I live by that. It's my legs. Oh man, that's his, and then that's been Pop. His knees and his legs. I mean, that poor man. He worried me a little bit today because he was having a hard time standing. But I tell you what, the guy just doesn't give up. We got up this morning. I made coffee. I turn around, he come out of the bedroom because he gets up at 5. He'll go to the bathroom and he'll just lay there. And then Giles will get up and go to school. Go to work, go to school. Giles gets up and goes to work. Well, Pup stays upstairs with Giles. But as soon as he opens that door, he's down there and up in Grandpa's face. I'll hear him growling at Grandpa, trying to get him up to take him to the bathroom. And I'll lay in here and laugh, and I can hear him in here laughing. Don't make me get my stick. I love it. Yeah, with Lacho, we got to be careful. Edna's in here with the wand, so Edna. So Edna, now that you're on TikTok, have you seen mine? I'm so goofy. I'm just having fun. A lot of those things I'm just doing for the fun. I've been up since 5 a.m. Dude, I went to bed last night. I think it was 4:30 when I finally got my body to chill. I slept till a little after 5. Got up. Did a little work while he was still asleep. Then I did a workout. Then I came back in and laid down for a little bit. See if I could chill out a little bit because I was still real shaky from the night. I probably slept a total last night, maybe 3 hours, give or take, considering that I slept maybe an hour first. And then when I laid back down, I think I was in and out of sleep for like 2 hours. But I was also listening to them in there fighting, him and the dog fighting with each other. So. But yeah, that is a long day. I remember I worked 3 jobs. I'd work at Airwaves, leave, come home, change. I'd stop here at Mom and Dad's, change into my Bonanza stuff, go to Bonanza, work until 10, leave there, and then I went and worked at White Castle's for like 4 hours, just doing janitorial work for them, cleaning while they were busy. And come home and still be up for another hour or 2. But it kept me busy. TikTok is confusing. Yeah, it is. I don't get, I call it tic-tac. Just, if you're looking for somebody special, just type in the name, like Ghostdragon. I'm on there. I'm Ghostdragonzw. And you just type it in. I think we're already friends. So. But yeah, I just heart stuff, leave a comment. I've been posting stuff. I just post stuff. I've learned to hashtag a couple things, and that's it. I just, like I said, I'm just doing it for fun anyways. People watch it. There's a lot of scamming that goes on in TikTok and X, and especially Instagram, Telegram. So I'm not a big fan of these platforms anyways, just because of the scamming that goes on. I have an MRI on Saturday. 1 second, and I didn't see Mr. Latros here. Had doctor visit Tuesday, and he apologized. They cannot do more for neuropathy. Yeah, they can only do so much. I have it in my legs. Pop has it in his legs. And they can't diagnose leg weakness. I'll just have to do it for them. Yeah, what you do is just exercise. You're doing the right thing. I take it you're very personal. Very active person. And it may run in the family. Now I was told I had fibromyalgia, but with all the pain and aches that I have and all the body, I've had hips replaced. I got 2 metal rods holding 2 ribs together. Got half my neck, cervix and my neck's been replaced, and probably 2 more probably needs to be replaced. I'm surprised I haven't had to have my knees done. I've taken so many shin kicks and stuff when I was fighting in the day. I'm surprised I didn't trash them. But I have broken all 10 fingers and all 10 toes too. MRI, what's the MRI for? They're just doing like a checkup on you, Edna? Yeah, I traded my off, but the minimal effect today. 1 year trailing returns in 430%. Nobody does that. Today, BTC was trailing off and I was late in getting out. Oh. So what are they doing this for, Edna? Is it just to check you or are you still having problems? I've been thinking about you a lot lately, Edna. You and a couple Nighthawk and just a couple Ryan have been heavy. Lotus has been really heavy on my mind. So cut vegetables. I'm not a big vegetable anyways, guys. I mean, I eat corn and green beans. I mean, I eat vegetables. I'm just not, I don't sit there and eat a whole. I'm not like a vegetable eater. I'm not like that. Cut all three for 30 days, back one at a time. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm a very light eater. Um, I get up, usually eat oatmeal for breakfast or cream of wheats. Um, Depends on how hard I'm working if I eat a lunch. And usually it's just, a sandwich like peanut butter and jelly or toast. And then I eat a good dinner. And then I nitpick very lightly. I've cut down a lot of my sugars and stuff and, snacking. Now I traditionally eat a bowl of cereal about an hour before I go to bed. So everybody knows when I'm getting a bowl of cereal, they know I'm going to try to lay down at least in an hour. To see what's going on, good idea. Never hurts to double check, anyways, Edna. But if you're having problems, it's probably a good idea to have it checked. Pain's been bad for a while now. Now, is it just your legs? Even organic vegetables contaminated with, oh, yeah, I know that. I'm having, it's like I told Dad, I'm thinking about building a greenhouse this year. I can't put a garden out because the deer come through here and eat everything. And I actually watched one jump a privacy fence the other day that about freaked me out. Took a running start and cleared it. It was like, holy crap. So I'm going to build a greenhouse. That way they can't get it and I can grow stuff all year round. And I have a perfect area that's in the sun. Gets a little morning shade, but once that sun clears the trees, it's got sun under it all day. But yeah, I think I'm putting in a greenhouse. Build it myself. You can buy kits too, so I haven't decided if I'm going with the kit or if I'm going to build one. Make sure it's anchored down real good and put a floor in there and everything. What is your worst pain? Lower back pain. That runs deep in my legs. Oh, lower back pain is the worst because you feel it all the way down to your toes. See, I get rid of a lot of my back pain doing Tai Chi and breathing exercises, believe it or not. That helps a lot with my pain too. But I have a pretty good pain tolerance. I mean, even my dad freaks my dad out because he's got a pretty high pain tolerance too. But he was like, one day I got tagged pretty good. And he's like, you don't feel that? And I go, yeah, I feel it. It hurts. He goes, man, you're being awful cool about it. That's got to be at least 3 stitches. I ain't going to go get no stitches for that. You wouldn't go get stitches for that, now would you? And he goes, no. So I just took super glue and glued it closed and put a Band-Aid on it. It works fine. I have a scar, but oh well. That's what kept my hands. It's right underneath. I'm just glad nothing's touched me lately, man. The last time something touched me, man, it left a hell of a bruise on me. For something that just reached out and barely tapped me, man. It's not cool. The most nutrient dense, the non-inflammatory food is meat from ruminant animals, beef, lamb. I have AS and arthritis. I have AS, ankylosing spondylopathis, if I can say it right. I have AS. Also, I think it runs in family because I know he's got a lot of the symptoms I have, but he won't go see a rheumatologist or a bone doctor. He says, I'm too old. They're just going to tell me there's nothing they're going to do anyways. Probably true. They wouldn't even do surgery on his knee because he was too old. But he's also a diabetic. He takes insulin. So that kind of puts him at a higher risk at his age. Even though they've cut down on his insulin quite a bit, he does pretty good. I'm really impressed. Now I'm going to get one of those. We've got him one of those things that you put on the arms, right, to do is tap it. I'm going to do that for him tomorrow. Put it on. Yeah, you are a miracle, Edna. There's actually quite a few of you that come and go out of this chat. There are miracles. So, you should stand by that and be proud of that, Edna. I'm still walking. Hey, they told me I wouldn't be able to walk by 50. They told me I'd be all messed up if I lived that long. Yeah. I'm done past that. I always make it a point to make appointments, my doctor appointments every birthday on my birthday for 2 doctors who consistently told me I wouldn't make it this far, just so I can go in there and laugh at it. I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still a pain in the butt, ain't I? So, arthritis is often by dumping all the plants, nuts, and seeds and all the seed oils. See, now, mom's rheumatologist told her that, but she was my mom was allergic to soy-based products, so she was really careful about what she ate anyway. I saw it on screen. It looks like a black hand with long fingers across my lower back. Ooh, there's some muscles. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, that's compressed. That's not good. You may want to do some stretches too. Slowly work your body. I don't know what kind of, do you exercise? Do you walk, Edna? I'm sure you do. You seem like a pretty active person. I'm probably not as much now after everything that went down. And if you try to get back into a more exercise program, go slow and easy at first. Take your time, pace yourself, especially with your back and your legs. But I use Chinese massage to help the lower back. I used to use acupuncture. It's a good temporary fix for a while, but that's what it is. It's a temporary fix. A lot of the Chinese medicines are great fixes, but some of them are only temporary and have to be done regularly. And that can get expensive. Same thing with Japanese medicines too. Now, some of the herbs and stuff that they use, now those I think should get a lot more, just like home remedies, they should get a lot more praise because I know people that use these type of medicines that are better than they were when they were sick, twice as good as they were. In fact, one of my friends who's still very active in the service, and he's a year older than me, and he's still active in the service. He was real sick, and he just did home remedies and Chinese and Japanese medicines, and wow. His sister is like, man, he's just like a whole new person now. He thought he was going to have to give up and retire. And she's an active lady too, so. But they both inherited some serious family, physical issues too. But I don't even want to take them on. And she's a bad, anyways, I almost said it. Yeah. If you're lucky, 2 to 3 days is that the most. Yeah, I know you stay at, see, that's the thing. I'm trying to get dad a little more active, but doctors told me his doctor tells me just go with the flow with him. Try to keep him as active as he's willing to be. So that's what I do. We get on each other's nerves because we are around each other. I don't think Giles, he comes and goes, but I don't think he gets mad because we get at each other. It's like, dude, you're not with each other. You're not with him all day. And dad will tell him the same. You're not with him all day. And Giles, well, I lived with him. He goes, but yeah, you were never home. we're you can tell we're father and son. He gets mad at me and says, quit acting like your mother. Because I kind of look like her with a bigger. Me and mom look a lot like before she passed. You could definitely tell I'm her son. I'm nothing like her, but I mean, we have a lot of her traits, but I do a lot of gentle stretching. Yeah, that's good. Yoga, that's good stuff. Yeah, just keep doing that. Those bike things that you buy to sit down and those are actually really good for you, especially your legs. So if you ever thought about doing that, not riding a bike, it's just you sit down in a chair and it's got the pedals, and you can tighten it and slow it just like you would an old, one of those old exercise bikes. I'm telling you, I've got a friend that's using one now, and his legs got real bad. He says, "Man, it's helping." And each week he tightens it a little bit more. Deep tissue massage, acupuncture, water except for honey. I've done it all. Yeah, acupuncture. I used to do it all the time. Every so often I'll go in because it also helps with allergies. So I was thinking about going in because my allergy. I mean, I'm taking some strong allergy medicine. I don't take it too strong because I don't want to be. That doesn't knock me out. It's like the Benadryl does not bother me. Stuff like that does not bother me. It doesn't make me sleepy. It doesn't make me groggy. But when my allergy pills don't work, then it's time to seek something else because my nose and my ears, and it's bad enough I've been dealing a lot lately with the ringing in the right ear again. It's been real bad the last couple of weeks again. Some worked, some didn't. Yeah, that's usually the case. It also depends on where you go because people do different techniques. I mean, acupuncture, it's all the same. It should everybody be doing acupuncture the same way. But massages, masseuses, they have each own little special techniques and stuff. Sometimes you get a good masseuse, and sometimes you get a good masseuse but it just doesn't last. Yeah, and it does when you have health issues, especially when you're dealing with doctors. I know that, Edna. I promise. I made a promise years ago I would not bankrupt my family because of this. Honey, just do the best you can. Hey, I can tell you right now, those doctors you're paying and those hospitals, and I can guarantee some of those doctors now haven't even paid their school loans back. You'd be surprised and stuff. So yeah, I don't feel bad if I miss a payment or something, or I take a little extra long to pay on a doctor bill. They're set. Yeah. Heck, I just don't like doing it with the hospitals because, the nurses and stuff need their money. They don't make that doctor money. But yeah, I don't rush to pay a doctor. They've tried that already, huh? Yeah, and it didn't go over too well. I'm like super sensitive. It was awful. I got sick. It was not good. Good night, Latro. This is also my what happened partner in my decade. I don't want to be a burden anymore. Oh, you're not a burden. You take care of yourself, Latro. Pop in anytime. We love you to death. Love seeing you here. Have a good night. I need to collapse my quantum field. There you go. I've been there. I've been there before. You go relax. Take it easy. Have a good night, Latro. Hopefully we see you Friday night. Take care of yourself. Have a good Thursday, man. Yeah, I got sick. That's like they did that one where they flush your ears and nose. If that's what you're talking about, oh my God. It was not a pleasant experience. It was not pleasant. One med is $700. I'm not doing it. It's effing ridiculous. I had, the medicine, Edna, that basically killed me. They found me slumped in this chair dead because I was dead. They're probably getting in trouble. I was off. I was not alive. YouTube's going to get on me for that one. Anyways, that medicine cost $1,200. And my own insurance only covered half of it. I only took it once. The day I got it, I had to pay $600, and the insurance paid the other. Thank God I had insurance because there was no way I was going to come up with $1,200 for a medicine. That's just insane. But that's when I told them after that. I said, no more. I'm done with medications. I will take what I'm taking now because it works. And the stuff that helps with the Tourette's, I have 2 medicine. The one I only take in case I get really bad, and the other one just kind of helps tame it a little bit. But other than that, I just assume wander off and have my way, have a little Mother Nature and just kind of slide into the pain and the tremors. Because sometimes that's the only thing that works. But it's not the doctors that are greedy. It's the pharmaceutical companies that run everything. And these doctors, a lot of times they're trapped. I mean, even when they go off and start their own practices, they got to have, those medication, because some of that medication does work for people. But I always said, if you hear side effects that's longer than your palm or even bigger than this, if that sentence runs more than this, don't take it. Because you'll be taking medicine that causes side effects, and then they're going to give you medicine to help with the side effects. And then if that medicine causes you side effects, then they're going to give you medicine on top of that. No, not that. Just that. Good Lord. Yeah. And that was an experimental drug. We know well that these meds don't cost that much. Oh no. That's like insulin and HIV medicine and stuff like that. You know what they charge for that stuff? I can't believe what my dad pays for his insulin. It's BS. And he doesn't even take it. He's done that. They got to the point where they say, Wayne, we can only do so much. So, he takes the metformin, and then they've dropped him to like 14, which is barely, he'd had him on 10. He was taking like 40 before he had an episode. And then they realized that, hey, it's changed. So they had to lower the dosage, but he still has to take it every day. And then CVS he has like a full box. He has 2 boxes because they put him on hold on it for a while till they figure out how to attack this. Well, those boxes are expensive. I'm not even going to tell you what he pays for insulin. And he had 2 boxes. Well, once they started back up on lower dosages, freaking CVS, we told CVS he's got good 2 boxes. He doesn't need any for a while. They're still trying to get him to order more insulin. There was times they were filling his medicines without even asking. They were just filling him, and then I was getting a text, "Come get it." I'm like, I didn't request this. We took him off the refill, auto refill. I took him off those. Who put him back on those? And Dad goes, CVS gets a kickback for that. That wouldn't surprise me. And a lot of times, most of them are Band-Aids. Now, I have to admit, not all medications. There are medications that actually have helped me through the years. And it was a lot of radical. But when it comes to my Tourette's, or whatever you want to call this, they still say it's a movement form of Tourette's. But, because I meet all the requirements. But still, I won't take that medicine. I didn't like when they thought I had Parkinson's, and they were giving me Parkinson's medicine. I didn't like it. And a lot of the Parkinson's medicines they were giving me then was almost the same medicine they were giving me for the Tourette's. And it would just make me sick or worse, almost kill me, did kill me. It just said enough. So I take what I take. All of it has specific, helps me specifically. It's like my Nexium. Man, if with my Barrett's my Barrett's disease, where they had all that work done, and I'm still going to have to go in and have probably more work done. That medicine wasn't cheap, but the Nexium is not cheap, even though you can buy it in a store. You buy the prescription higher doses, like I have to take. It's not cheap. It's like almost $800 a bottle. But it works, and it keeps my acid reflux from, because it keep that. What happens is the acid reflux, because I don't have a valve that opens and closes right, keeps that acid reflux down so it doesn't come up and instigates and causes more problems with the Barrett's esophagus. That shit, not cheap. And then all that, it took me a while to catch up all those doctor bills, but it didn't take long. Once I just set a little plan down, I got it all paid off. But once again, I had good family, and I had a good insurance, which was nice. I also wasn't ashamed either. I have a little bit of a bill left for the doctor visit. I applied for financial aid. I figured I fit the criteria. Why not? So I applied for financial aid. See if I get it. If I get it, that means all the money I paid already will come back to me, which will be nice. I could use that money. I've been in a hospital twice. Hospitalized twice because of the meds. They need to start me on a lower dose. Yeah, they do. We've discussed this. And like I said, Edna, and you were doing good. I hope you still are. You stay on them. If something's not working for you, if you don't feel comfortable, if you're not feeling good about it, if the medicine feels all out of whack with you, honey, get on them about it. Hey, this is not working for me. I think you told me that. Yeah, you said it didn't do you a bit of good at all. And that's good. You need to get on them about that. You got on them about it. And if you don't, if they give you a hard time, I'll just have taken it. I'll wean myself off it and stop taking it myself. Because, it's not doing no good. It's making things worse or whatever it's doing. Hey, remember, they work for you. You don't work for them. It's just like the government. Sometimes I look at hospitals kind of like little governments. They think you go in there that you have to do what they tell you, even though when you know damn right that certain things are better for you than what they're suggesting. That's like when I went to my issue with the bone cancer. I didn't want my kids going through a bone marrow testing to see who's compatible with me. That's painful. I mean, it is painful. I wouldn't put any child or I don't care how old my children were. I wouldn't put them through that. Or any of my grandkids through that. I wasn't doing it. I thought, slam me with the chemo and let's see what happened. I got lucky. They were going through chemo at night. Oh my God. There were days I didn't want to be touched. I didn't want to speak. I could barely lay on my bed because even laying on my bed hurt. Felt like 1,000 needles going through me. Oh, it was horrible. But I'm here. Now that he's really retired, I'm going to apply for everything I can get and do it. Don't be afraid and don't feel bad for doing it. I swallowed my pride a long time ago. If you feel it necessary, you apply for that stuff. Damn straight. You're entitled to it just as much as the next person, I should say. It's been that. I've done that many times over the years. Hey, don't. But yeah, if you think you can get it, apply for it. Damn straight. You're entitled to it just as much. Now, I've seen some people apply for stuff that they didn't deserve to be applying for, and they shouldn't be applying for it. It actually needs to go to better people that are more deserving of it. But yeah, man, if you need the help, if you need to apply for stuff, you apply for it. they would gladly do it to save our life, Ghost. I'm sure of that. Yeah, and that's the thing. This time I told them, if I'm gone, don't bring me back. Though I wouldn't brought back maybe twice, maybe they brought me back, but I'm pretty sure that I was set back every time. In fact, I can guarantee it from the conversations I remember. Someday I'll talk about the conversations I had. I mean, they felt like hours. That's what freaks me out. I've never accepted help before. Honey, I was the same way. But like I said, after I got divorced and physically things started hitting the crapper I did in my marriage. That's what kind of led into things. But after the marriage, and I realized that selling all my stuff, and after the chemo, I was like, "Are you damn straight? I'm entitled to this." I swallowed my pride and I started filing paperwork for everything. I said, I worked my butt off. I held 3 jobs. I paid taxes. I paid into the system. I said, and I could use the help, and I did it. I'm curious to see if I get the financial aid through the hospital. I really am. Did it a while ago before I did the chemo. I should have done it through the chemo, but I was so freaked out and was just trying to get through it. I just dealt with it. But before that, I had applied for financial aid right after I got married for when they had the hip surgery. They paid for everything. The only thing I had to pay for was the anesthesia. I'm not either, Edna. I'm not. Not at all. I will be judged and I'll be okay. Though my opinions toward that of passing has changed a lot. So I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I've faced it enough as it is. I've not only been through it myself, I've held death in my hands. And a number of times, I'm ready. When the good Lord calls, or whatever happens, happens. I'll be good. I started paying taxes at 14. Yeah, you're not the only one, sister. As soon as they found out I was working, because I started at Bonanza when I was 14. I had a hard time getting a work permit, but because usually not, when you're 14, 15 years old, you shouldn't have to pay taxes, but they would take them taxes. Dad said, let them take them. I was getting the money back, but still. You did that for your, you know what I'm talking about. No, they slammed me hard. Not only were they shooting me up with it, they were hitting me with. Oh, it was so much fun. Hey, Rainwater, how you doing, hon? I'm assuming you're a female, so. But if you're not, I'm sorry. It's always good to see you come in and wave your hands and your emojis. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you've been hanging out and listening. I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. I do watch for you, believe it or not, Rainwater. I do watch to see if you pop in. So thank you. Make sure, and that's another thing, folks. Make sure you leave a like and a comment afterwards. I know we're down to 5 people. I should have said that earlier. And donations are always a help, folks. I don't like bringing up donations during my stream, but donations are a big help for Gemma right now. So if you can donate, that'd be awesome. If you come in and get a card or a couple bucks, I'd appreciate it. It's not necessary, but it'd be nice. She would appreciate it much too. She's got birthday coming up and everything, so she's trying to stay busy and bless her heart. I don't think the soul ever dies. We just move on. Yes, we do, huh? Yes, we do. You know, here's an interesting theory. You know, aliens may not be interested in us as physical as much as they are interested in our souls. I think, and I don't. And once again, I go back to my belief that I don't see aliens as the way most people do, and I'm not. I'm not. I'm not alone in that. There's a lot of people that think a lot like I do. But yeah, I think even if there were aliens out there, I think they would be more interested in why we make a big deal about our souls. I think they'd be more interested in why and what is a soul. Think about that. Maybe they do all that probing and stuff on us is to see if they can get our soul. Think about that. Something to consider. I've actually heard other people bring it up too, which really shocked me. One second. This is why I said this is what me and Grant. I have to say, me and Gemma Google. We try to keep the politics light on here because there's such a division going on right now. We love everybody that comes and chat. We know we don't all look at each other. We all have very different political beliefs. But I love every one of you guys, and but when you talk about the paranormal, you really, it's hard not to talk about the paranormal without bringing up religion at some point or another. Any religion, not just Christian beliefs, but all beliefs, because they all have a touch and a place in the supernatural in one form or another. That's like our little gray friend that we've talked about, Edna. I think there's more to him than I. And me and Patricia were talking about that Patty. Since the one Patty passed, I've been calling her Patty. She understands why Patty, the other Patty. I knew two Patricias, and one we call Patty, and the other one called Patricia. And Patricia's the one I've known since I was a kid. We tried dating. We kissed once. It was like kissing my sister, and she looked at me like I felt like I just kissed my brother. So we're that type of relationship where we are literally like a brother and sisters from different parents. Anyways, and the other Patty, she was just a friend I worked with, and then I was knew throughout school off and on. She passed a while ago. But anyways, but me and Patricia were talking about our little gray hooded friend, and she had somebody talk about him in one of her. She does readings and stuff, and she does them out of. She has a place at her house where she does readings and cards and all that. She does it on the side. She has a real job. Well, she calls it her real job and her non-real job, but she takes her mysticism, her spiritualism very seriously. And she said she had a client come in and ask her about a gray hooded figure. He kept seeing a gray hooded figure, and he didn't know what it meant. And they got to talking, and she kept asking him, religion is paranormal. Well said. And it also depends on what religion, because you would go into a Catholic church, you would literally think you're watching a ritual happen, because their services are very ritualistic. Catholic Catholic Catholicism is considered a cult. Anyways, but we got to talking about it, and she said she got to talking to this guy about it. And why all of a sudden he thought he started seeing him. And he said it was really crazy. He didn't start seeing him after a friend of his passed. And he saw him the day after the funeral. He was standing on a street corner, and it was standing on the other side of the street corner. And he said this was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And he said it was standing in between two people. And he watched it, and he just couldn't understand why he could see it, but nobody else was seeing it. And then it happened again a couple of days later, and then a couple of days later, and then a couple of days. He said it was like every 3 or 4 days he was seeing this guy, and then it just stopped. And she thought, by the way he talked, he may have thought that maybe it was his friend watching me. But he couldn't understand why he was in a gray cloak. So I thought that was interesting. But see, you said when you saw him standing on another person's porch, and he wasn't paying attention to you until he felt you seeing him. Because I can guarantee he felt you seeing him before he looked at you. And that's why he tilted his head. Because that's what they do when I see him. I saw him again about 4 days ago. But it was just like a flicker. But it was standing there in a hallway in an office I was in. And it just standing there in the corner of where the rooms, like when you turn on a corner, it was standing right on the corner. And it was watching me with its head tilt. I looked at it, and as soon as I looked up at it, it was gone. That's why I didn't make a big deal about it. But see, I see stuff like that all the time. But it's usually with somebody. And this gray figure and the black one I saw when I was sick. And when I had the surgery a while back, the emergency thing. I don't know what the deal was with that, but I do know it was not like a Grim Reaper. He actually made me feel like I was being observed. I was being watched. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. Me and Patricia, me and Gemma don't really get to talk about stuff like that because when we're together, it's either playing Fortnite or just running each other, running mouse, gabbing. But Patricia, when we get in some deep conversation, it's like he couldn't believe I was seeing. And see, the guy didn't feel that. He felt like he was being watched. And he honestly, I think from what she says, she felt like he was honestly thinking, she from the way she gathered from the way he was talking, that he thought that maybe it was his friend checking on him, but he couldn't understand why a gray cloak. Why cover him in this misty kind of gray cloakish looking thing. But everyone I've seen, it's like they don't. It's like, how are you seeing me? Are you seeing me? Are you looking at me kind of feeling? And I never pick up anything off of them. That was like the black one. The only thing about the black hooded figure in the doctor's room, I immediately knew it wasn't like a Grim Reaper or anything, but I immediately knew I was being watched. Why I was being watched, I don't know. Especially when it leaned over the doctor's back and looked at me. That bothered me. But it wasn't like a bad bother. It was just like, why are you doing this? What's up? Kind of thing. But yeah, the gray ones, they act like they can't understand how you're seeing them. Yeah, I get that. It's like some of the things I see following people. Some of them, it's like, I can tell they're like, how's he seeing me? When they notice that I'm seeing them, a lot of times I would say the majority, I would say 85% of the time, if it's rounded off, they don't see me or realize that I'm watching them. Now, there are many times that they can, but and sometimes they retaliate, sometimes they just disappear. It's like they see me, I see them, then they see me. And it's like, I get this all of a sudden a fear, but it's not my fear. It's like their fear or something. And they're gone. They just disappear. Now, who's to say they don't meet up or whatever? But when I'm standing there and I watch them disappear, they're gone. Ugh. So I don't get that. But Patricia's been telling me why, maybe. But I don't want to get into that anyways. But when they do see me, it's either they lash out or they disappear. And lately, it's been more lash out. So it's like when I see something, I try to act like I don't see it. I literally walk through the store now like this, head down. I got to look up just to make sure I'm not going to run anybody down or pop into anybody. I saw him. He was standing straight. Then he turned his head and to my left, He turned his head to my left, like he can see me. The thing that I got me is I got no vibe. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. You don't get a vibe from these guys. I don't think he really. I think the only reason that guy thought what he thought, and everybody else that's seen him, that's told either me and Patricia, Patty, is they don't pick up a vibe. He's the only one that felt like maybe it was his friend watching him, and he just couldn't understand why he was in a great club. And he said it was real like misty and foggy, like, and he was literally standing in between two people standing on the corner on the other side of the street. I even rubbed my eyes and looked again. I've done that. You know how many times I've done that, isn't it? Double make sure that it's just not me. Why do you think I've been going without wearing my old glasses? Because I was thinking it might help me not see anything. Well, that wasn't the case. Now I can see them even clearer now, and that scares me. Actually, that don't scare me anymore. It's just if I feel any fear for any of those things, it's usually for the person it's attached to. That's who I worry about. And it's like I said, going and telling somebody something like that is a kind of a hit and miss. A lot of times it's a miss. So I just, unless I feel it absolutely, if this is really bad and I can tell that they're really suffering, I may say something. I have in the past. But anymore right now with it's ramping back up again. A lot of stuff is ramping back up again, like we were talking about earlier with animals and electricity and stuff. It has amped up again. So I have literally, you ask my dad, I go in the store, I get what I need, and I get out. I tell Dad I don't want to be out any longer than I have to. I think he's starting to understand why. But I'll tell you what, something definitely had a good blockage, a little barrier around me when I went to his sister's funeral, because that's the first time I walked in their funeral home and didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. Even when we went to the cemetery, I didn't see anything. And when we finally got home that night, I literally sat in this chair and I was like, wow. That was a relief. It was like comforting. And there for a while, I didn't see nothing, but I went out the last couple of days, I've seen stuff. And the only thing I've been seeing is what I've seen either on the screen, watching somebody stream. I was watching the news and the riots, or whatever you want to call them, peaceful protests, whatever you want to call them. The demons I was seeing in those crowds were legit. And then I had other people saying, look at that. And I'm like, holy crap, they're seeing it too. It didn't scare me, but it was like, oh, hell no. Yeah. Well, see, it doesn't even go in that phase anymore. The only time I said the oh, hell no is when they touch me. I mean, you saw the market when that one, it saw me and it reached around that guy and it just touched me. That's all it did. It looked like, it didn't even have a hand. It was just like this long needle and it just tapped me. And it was like, when I see it touch my skin, it literally felt like somebody took a match and put it out on me, is what it felt like. I was like, holy crap. I just turned around and went to trying to convince myself it was, and you do that. That's just natural reaction. But in the morning, the deck was bare. Yeah. Hey, you can have a day inside me for a while, isn't that? Huh? But actually, you're pretty bright, so to stand in my place with your brightness may not be the beacon you'd want to be. Because I know people say, I don't know about Gemma, but I know a lot of people say, oh, you kind of not vibrate real high and you don't vibrate real low. You just kind of hover. And I'll tell you what, when I'm vibrating really high, it's like I'm a beacon. So I kind of keep it on the temper, try to keep myself on a temper level, because I notice if I'm great and running and feeling good and my vibrations are like super out of the world, it's even more intense what I see. Just a grill on the opposite side of the deck. Just a grill on it. You sure you didn't see a transformer that night? And that grill is really a transformer, and your mind didn't know how to accept it. So maybe the neighbors have a transformer or a grill. But see, the thing, sometimes we weren't meant to know why, and then it may be out of the blue that you get your answer. Well, you've been through a lot, maybe, but I still don't. From what you have told me, I don't think it was there for you. You just happened to catch something, and that's a lot of the cases with those type of stories. Is you were either in the right place at the right time, in the right kind of frame of mind, and you saw it. And that happens a lot more. That's just like any other paranormal event. A lot of times, paranormal events happen when you least expect it, when you're not looking for it, when you're just going about your daily life. That's when that stuff happens. Yeah, well, you're not, Edna. I can tell you that now. Well, those hallucinations you had at the hospital, that was your mind doing its thing. And thank God they were, weird ones, but you didn't, you got through it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I kind of have a little trouble getting my words out. And those hallucinations were there for a reason. But you're not going crazy. And you're not the only one that's seen it. From what I'm gathering now, it's, Patricia says that it's something that she's seeing more of, not it. She's seen it once, and that's all. Just like you, just that one time she saw it. And she doesn't know why she saw it. And it was at a friend's house. They were all having a picnic out in the backyard. And she said it was standing in the neighbor's backyard. It wasn't even looking at her. It was looking the other way. And it turned around, and that's when it tilted its head. And she goes, as soon as it tilted its head, it knew that I could see it. I knew it could tell that I could see it. Because it seemed as confused as I was, because I've never seen anything. I've seen some weird, she's seen some weird stuff. She said that was just, she said it was like calm. There was no like fear. She couldn't pick up anything. She just was like, okay, so why is this happening? So you're not the only one in. Somehow I think I was connected to my daughter's staff. I thought something. I have bruises to prove. Yes. And it did have a lot to do with your daughter's stuff. When you're dealing with entities like the Hat Man and the other thing that she was seeing, which was kind of like a shadow person, right? It does affect you. And I don't think people understand the Hat Man is a demon. And it's a very powerful demon. And there's rankings among the Hat Men too. Demons have ranking. And from stories I've heard, from the things that the Hat Man I've seen, these things don't mess around. If they have an eye on a target, they don't mess around. They do whatever it takes to get that target. And I call them targets because they feed on weak. They feed on sadness. They feed on fear. They feed on family issues and addiction, And I think that's why. I think it is part of what happened. But I think you're a lot more protected than you give yourself credit for. There is definitely something that protects you. And our whole family, believe it or not. There's a reason why you guys are so bright. And I joke about it and talk about it, but your family, those pictures you sent me, are some of the brightest beacons I've ever seen. In a family alone. I've seen bright people, bright, very bright. I'm not like Gemma. I don't see auras and stuff. I see other things. I see light. I see weirdness. But you guys are bright. Tricia said the same thing. She goes, you guys are just walking beacons. And she says, once they learn to use that beacon for goodness, she says, that's the same reason. Because Steve, you shine bright. That's why people come to you and start talking to you about. Strangers will come up and just start telling you their life stories. It's what you are. I was afraid when I fought it. I knew I would win. And fear is okay to have when you deal with such things. She hasn't seen anything since because you were there. So so you're a protector, but you have protection. You need to realize that now, Edna, and take that into comfort. That might help you also with some other issues because you are well protected. I don't know why, but you have meaning in your life. Just stay true, okay? That's all. And keep the faith. Whatever faith you have, keep it. Make it strong. Build on it. Stand tall, stand true, stay on course. It's all right to wander off course, but you definitely have a path now. If that path is known to you, I don't know what it is, but there's a reason you and there's some other people in this chat, in all these chats, there are a couple people that definitely have a path. I don't know what it is, but it's been made clear to me. It's all up to you guys to stay on it, stay true to it, and find out what it is yourselves. I can't tell you even if I knew. I'll actually, both the girls have the gift. I wonder about my grandson. No, he does. My daughter, my sister, boys, we all have the gifts. Oh, yeah. Sometimes families are like that. Now, see, my grandma always said my grandma Bowen, she was actually my aunt, but she raised my mom. Anyways, she often said, out of the four boys, I was the special one, that there was a reason I was the way I am. And now I understand. You know, especially after what happened in the graveyard, when I was told I was on a different path. Now, sometimes I wish I had stayed on that path. There are moments, especially lately, without going into a lot of details, I've spent a little time talking to a homeless person. And I didn't realize how powerful I could be at times. I just got crying. I didn't mean to. And I got word from the guy at the gas station that the guy started going to church. The church helped him find a place to stay, and he's got a job. And I'm like, because that was all you, Steve. Because that was all you. I go to the same gas station over again. I probably hadn't. That I can't say. I honestly, I don't know. I just see things over the years, especially with people I've known like you for a long time. I've never met you. You know, not like I've met Gemma. You know, I've looked her in the face. I've looked in her eyes. There's a lot more to that woman, too, than a lot of you folks realize. A lot more. But you and that, I mean, I could list off about 30 names of people I've known through the internet over the years that have distinct paths. I don't know what they are, where they're going, but they have a distinct path. And all I know is it's up to them to stay on it and stay true to it. That's all I know. You're one of those people, Edna. And you are good at helping people. You know when to stand up. Only problem with people like us, Edna, is sometimes we don't know how to help ourselves. So maybe focus on both. I've tried lately, that's been my focus, is not only trying to help others, but trying to help myself. Sometimes I get so caught up in helping people, kind of let myself go. I think that's why I got sick last time, because I was trying to help a number of people. Kind of probably stressed my brain out a little more than I had, my body, and stress, you know, and that affects you. So that's why Gemma and a lot of us always say, you got to take time to heal. You got to take time for yourself. But whatever your path is now, there is definitely a reason for your being. So for all of us, actually, every one of us in this room, everyone watching, everybody that wanders through here, everybody has a reason. But if you're like me and have the two M's, according to the mystics, the two M's, the half moon, the whole works, then there's definitely probably something special coming. That's gonna require you to take a step forward. So always be prepared. That's why I always say that. I mean, I'm not a wise man. I'm a lot smarter than people give credit for, because it doesn't look like that. And I do have, like I said, I'm not a limelight guy. I'm not used to being the only person on the screen. And like I said, I still get nervous. But I will give you the truths that I know and my opinions when asked. And it's like the old man here. He's 92. Just lost his last living sibling. And he looked at me and everything came out of his mouth. He goes, why me? Why am I the only one left? I said, Dad, that's between you and God, but I can tell you this. There's definitely a reason for it. Good or bad, there's a reason for it. So make the most of it. Enjoy the time you got. I have them all. So yeah. I know. But I know Patricia even said one time, I'll call her Patricia, that way you can distinguish. I call her Patty now outside. But she goes, Steve, I don't know how you do it, because I don't see half the stuff. I see stuff. She sees stuff. She goes, I don't see what you see. I wouldn't want to see what you see. I don't know why you have let it just go and just not fought it. I go, well, I've tried. I have. I've tried to find ways to block it. I've tried to walk away from it. And it only just gets stronger. Every time something happens to me physically, it gets stronger. And Patty's like, I don't know. There's some days, Steve, I see you and you can tell that you have seen some horrible things. It shows in your face. It shows in your eye. But yeah, you stand there smiling from ear to ear, grinning, because you don't smile like you used to, but you grinning. And when I see you grinning, I know you're happy. He goes, and your eyes get a twinkle in them, but you can still see in your eyes. And I tell it, go away. I go away, sissy. And I've had people tell me that, and I've seen people like that. I've looked into people's eyes and seen that they have seen things that they didn't want to see. You could see that in people's eyes. That's why when I walk into a room, I try to make eye contact with everybody. Not only can I feel the room before I come in the room, but once I get in the room, if I proceed to go into the room, because there's been times I've gotten to a door and felt an energy that, nope, I'm not dealing with that time. And I've left. But when I've decided to go through the door, that's the first thing I do is everybody I meet, everybody I talk to, everybody that's in the room, I make eye contact with. And I'm not talking just look in their eyes and walk away. I'm talking eye contact. It kind of freaks people out sometimes. But I don't care. That's just my way of reading you even closer. Getting even closer to what makes you tick. And then I like to absorb people too. Body language is a very real and specific thing. And the way a person walks, the way a person talks, carries themselves, little ticks, little nudges, little twists of their ears, says a lot. Says a lot. And some of the things that I see, they have those same little quirks too. And sometimes that's what helps me pick up their vibe, if they're good or they're bad. If they're clinging on to somebody, like a long time ago, there was this one lady I saw. She was probably in her late 20s, and this thing was all over her. At first, I thought it was bad, but as I got close to her, I realized no, this was somebody who like really, really, really loved her, and like overly loved this person, like stalker kind of love. They must have passed or something, and they just attached themselves to this person. And that was probably one of the first times I ever want to walk up and ask somebody, "Hey, did you have somebody that was a little too friendly with you, a little overzealous when you were around?" Well, why do you ask those questions to a stranger? I'm real big about eye contact. Yeah, I am too. Eye contact to me is important. And that was one of the first things I learned. And before I even started going to kindergarten, believe it or not. You know, my mom and dad always said, you talk to somebody, you make eye contact. Shows you're listening. But there's people out there that make eye contact and you know they're not listening to a dang thing you say. But they're making eye contact, so a lot of people don't even think about that. But I do. I think making eye contact. I had a friend that when you met him for the first time, I loved watching him meet new people. He would look you in the eyes. He would either shake your hand or put his arm lightly on your shoulder and say, "Oh, it's nice to meet you." And he was a lot like me, just not as intense. He said as soon as he touched somebody, if he only did, you could tell he was only doing it to the people he was kind of questioning. You could see it in his face. And, oh, what are you really about? So he would, how are you? And kind of lightly touch him, you know. Well, hello there, Miss Vixen. Yeah, we're still going. You're in a little late. We've been a busy little lady tonight. It's 12:32. We've been going long tonight. I'm going to take it to 1. I said 12, but I guess we'll go to 1. I said 11:30, and then we went to 12. Now we're at 12:30. That's the way it usually works. I hope you're having a good week so far there, Miss Vixen, Miss Doe. You know, my dad on his birthday, one of the things he said to me, Vixen? He says, I want to pay that lady for those pies. I don't think it was fair that she had to pay for those pies and they got here the way they got here. She said, that woman deserves something back. So, woman, it's either he paints you a painting and I send it to you, you take the replacement money for the pies. It's your choice. And one of these streams, I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to want an answer because he's driving me nuts about it. Bless his heart. He was so touched by that gesture. You wouldn't believe. And I showed him all of everybody's birthday wishes this morning because I wanted to wait. I was going to show them to him last night before he went to bed. Because even Cindy Norris and Cindy Lee made a monkey playing a guitar playing, singing him happy birthday if you didn't see it on Facebook. I showed him all that stuff this morning. I was going to show him last night, but there was still stuff coming in. It was like, Dad, look, I want to show you. People care. People do care, especially when you get to your age. And he was just amazed. And Gemma had him smiling from ear to ear. So you guys were fantastic. Thank you so, so, so much. And for those who watch replay, I should have said this earlier. I want to thank everybody for the birthday wishes for him. It made his day. It made my day. It was good. And Vixen's handing out bacon. It's almost too late for bacon. Just kidding. It's never late for bacon. So all you guys in there listening to me, seems like all the guys wandered off, which is usually the case, which is fun, I guess. It's been me and Edna, for the last hour after Latro left. Yeah, Latro was the last of the guys left. Chris just wanders off. Chris wanders in and out, but he might be asleep by now or roaming around in the chat somewhere. I don't know if Uso's still around. He didn't say goodnight. Nightmare, I'm sure he's watching. We know Nighthawk had to go. I will take a pairing and a painting and would be honored. You okay? I will let him know because he's working on a couple things. Um, and then what I'll do is I'll get your address and I'll have him frame it and everything because he builds his own frames and everything. And even at his age, he'll frame it for you and we'll get it shipped off to you. God only knows what he'll do for you, but I'm sure. You got to remember, he's 92 years old and he's colorblind. He paints and he's colorblind. And he does a pretty good job. I mean, it's no better than what you'd go see in the art museum nowadays. At least you know it came from the heart. But he does good. I mean, there are good days with him when he's painting, and there are bad days, just like any artist. But he did a buffalo for my brother and an Indian, an indigenous person. I have a hard time saying it, so you have to forgive those who like Nahak stuff. My brother, my oldest brother, snatched that sucker right up. It turned out really nice. I was really like, I want that. No, we were fighting over it, and Tim goes, nope, I'm the oldest, I get it. And he walked away with it. He did an owl. He did a bunch of paintings that Cindy got. Gemma got. Sorry, Gemma. Gemma got that he sent to her and her mom. When I went to Paraunity, I had a trunk full of paintings. Well, not a bunch of them, but a few of them that he did that he wanted them to have. So yeah, I'll let him know that's what you want to do. And then I will get with you, Vixen. You'll get an email from me asking for your address and stuff, and we'll get it sent off to you. I know he's got 2 that he's done already. And I'll let him pick which one he wants to send you. He likes doing flowers. I mean, he does the basic stuff, nothing fancy. He's trying to be doing scenery now, but he's been kind of shaky. So he's making it so he goes back to the easy stuff and works his way back up. I'm blue-green colorblind. I'm not concerned about it. Yeah, I think he is the same type, blue-green. I'm not sure. First, we thought he was playing with us, but he literally, long time ago, when he said he was colorblind, I'm like, no, you're not. But then when I go down there and watch him paint, watch him read the colors, and then he literally goes by just a shade. And it's amazing. I mean, he's learning to work with it. I guess he knows, what goes, I guess he just goes by instinct. He mixes until he thinks it looks right to him. And I don't know how he does it, but he does a pretty good job. I know when he first started painting, he didn't do any mixing because I think he was afraid he'd screw it up. But I think that's what makes it more personal myself. I think some of the best artwork I've made that I personally done, because I draw, I don't paint. I paint things like models and gargoyles and stuff like that. But when it comes to actual doing artwork, drawing, that's what I do. I draw pencil or I use pen. I used to drive my art teachers nuts because I'd use pen. Why are you using a pen? You're supposed to use a pencil so you can erase it. I go, I just cover it up with the pen. No biggie. I'll work around it. And if I don't like it, I'll roll up, throw it over the shoulder, and start it again. But now I'm gotten used to doing pencils. Now I'll use pencil for shading and stuff like that. But it's even hard for me. I still try to draw. I last about a half hour, then my hands start cramping, and I start getting tremors, and everything starts getting real shaky. I was trying to paint this little tiny Godzilla sign. I'm gonna have my son help touch it up a little bit. I didn't do a very good job because it was so tight, and I was just shaking so bad. But my Godzilla's done. I posted it on TikTok. I think I did it on, and I'm gonna do a glow in the dark test tomorrow night and see how bright I can get it to glow, and hopefully I can get it on film so I can show it off. the glow test because it does glow. I gave it some a little extra glow, as one might say. Now I'm working on a gargoyle for Gemma, and I'm trying to fix a Darth Vader I had that broke. They broke the saber, and now I got to fix the saber. And they brought it back from the fire. For a while, I just took a black pen and covered where it broke, but he's got to have a saber, so I'm trying to fix it. It just won't stay on. I'm gonna have to probably drill a little hole and stick it down in there. I don't know how I'm gonna do that because I'm afraid if I use like something like a drill or something, I'm gonna split the plastic. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just babbling now. I'm getting tired. I'm not really tired. I'm just getting anxious. I'll probably get up and run all over this house like a crazy man. I'm thinking about putting my TV up a little higher, or put it on a stand so I can lift it. So when I do streams and I need to get up, I can lift everything up and stand up a while. Sometimes they say it's better to just stand during a stream once in a while than sitting. I know there's times I gotten out of this chair, especially during oracles when we were, doing 3 or 4 hours. That night we were here till midnight. Man, I was all over this house. I mean, till almost 5 o'clock in the morning. I was all over this house. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't, because I just sat too long. You wouldn't know that my legs are down here doing 1,000 miles a minute, twiddling my hands, trying to keep my hands down because I don't want to see anybody see the big old nasty gash I have on my arm. Right now it's covered by a Band-Aid. But I probably should have had stitches, but the super glue held it. So my Wi-Fi's getting lucky. I hope I'm streaming okay. Ooh, it is looking pretty rough. I just looked at YouTube. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is flickering. The wind's picked up again. I really hope it doesn't go out on me. There's some work I want to do before I go to bed. Yeah, I look good on StreamYard, but I'm looking at myself and I am fuzzy as crap. Yeah, I just now noticed the Wi-Fi in my StreamYard is up and down. So why don't we do this? I'm going to go ahead and call it because I'm afraid that the guys are going to lose Wi-Fi on you guys. Vixen, thank you for coming in. I know it was you popped in a couple times and I was in it. I feel bad, but thank you for stopping by. I will get with you about the painting. Watch your email. You'll probably get an email in a couple days. Edna will probably go, sure, but you will, because my dad's involved in this. He's not going to let it slide. And now, when you're ready to come in here and we want to talk about this gray hooded figure or whatever, please. How creepy. I just saw that. Just let me know. And you can actually just let me know in stream. Hey, we want to talk about it. If you want me to come in, we can talk. That's fine. Just let me know. I'll leave that up to you. Always do. Everybody have a wonderful night. Yeah, I'm getting fuzzy. I'm watching my Wi-Fi now. It just cleared up. Let me see how I'm doing. Now it's trying to clear up on YouTube. That's a lot of reason why I run YouTube at the same time as I'm streaming. One is because that way if I need to put anything in chat, I can get it into chat. So I do it, especially during oracles, because I keep tabs so I can tell you guys. And StreamYard, if I use StreamYard, it's under her name, and then everybody thinks I'm Gemma. So I don't do that. So I have to use YouTube. It's not like as windy as it was before, but it's definitely blowing out there. At least it's not lightning anymore, like it was. I'm watching the outside. So hopefully I won't. I'm not worried about, it's like the other day we lost internet for like 2 hours, 3 hours. We don't know why. It was just out. And I was trying to play games and do stuff, and all of a sudden I had nothing. And it lasted about 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours. Anyways, have a wonderful night. I will see you folks Friday for One Card Oracles. You know how Gemma would love to see you guys there. Please leave a like. Those who watch the replay, I don't know if you'll make it this far, but please also leave a like. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. Just be be respectful. That's all I ask. So far, nobody leaves a comment, so I don't worry about it. I'm the only one who leaves it. Edna leaves a comment. Sometimes Andrew will leave a comment. Just say hi. I don't care. It helps with her algorithm. You got to remember, I'm on her channel. Everybody have a wonderful night. I'm Gavin. I just felt bad because poor old Vixen comes in here and we're getting ready to book. So I'll see you guys Friday night. For all those 7:15, show up a little early because sometimes she does start early. She's been starting about 7. But when she says 7:15, that gives her leeway in case the hubby comes home late. Night Vixen, Night Edna, Chris, Nightmare, Latro, Uso, all the folks that come in that didn't say anything. Thank you for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you a lot. Please have a good Thursday. And I'll be here Saturday as far as I know, God willing. Saturday night at 11. I make no promises anymore because you never know what the next day is going to bring. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging with me. I'll see you on the flip side of Friday. Have a wonderful Thursday. And again, I can't express my appreciation for all you folks that do hang out with me. It means a lot. Have a good one. Good night. And I'll see you Friday. Take care, folks. Much love. See you on the flip side.